Hello everybody, welcome back to the SOOP Duel series. We're here with sSak versus Best. Oh! There's a bit of a mistake on screen. We've actually got Best in the red, sSak in the blue. And the colors have been changed as well. Go ahead and restart here. All right, welcome everybody to the SOOP Duel Series Season 3. We got Best versus sSak today as we continue on. We're about halfway through this season. And we've got a 2024 series for you guys today. Best spawning over here in the top right, sSak in the bottom right. I don't think this guy knows what he's in for. I expect... And in fact, I assumed as soon as I saw the names that we were going to have a serious beatdown on our hands. sSak has about a 35% versus Protoss win rate in the ASL. His Liquipedia stats significantly better than that, but in the highest of tournaments. Doesn't have a very good record versus Protoss players, and Best is absolutely at the top of his game. He has been crushing absolutely everyone, smashing faces and making it look good. Best opening with a gateway and of course getting into his gas cybernetics core. He will be going for a pretty passive play, or at least, you know, not a hyper aggressive stance or a hyper Echo build. He's not going for Nexus first. You would expect Nexus first on this map. It is Radion, such a big map, so much time to get your defenses online. sSak is going to opt for a bunker expansion. Going to get that gasless fast expand. And Best here with the probe kind of hiding out in an interesting location. I think we're going to see something a little funky from him, or is he just going to take this Nexus? What is that probe doing over there? What a curious location to be hiding that probe. You can see sSak checking outside of his base just in case there was a pylon started. If there's a pylon over by that third, then he would know. There's an incoming... Oh, there's a pylon. Incoming Robo, possibly a Reaver push into his natural, or just, you know, elevator into his main base. So he checks for all of that. Gonna get caught by the Dragoon here. Second Dragoon comes up as well. Good block there. Gonna get rid of that. No scouting information for sSak for a little bit. He wants to slip this extra SCV out. Can he get along that axis? Looks like he might just barely slip out the side. He will slip out the left. He'll be able to rotate around these Dragoons and make his way out onto the map. Possibly into Best's base here in a moment. Best is actually hiding a Robo, I believe, over at center right. Could also be a Citadel. Oh, we're gonna get a shot of that here soon, I imagine. Best's gonna start to hit this bunker. Be a bit annoying. What is this? Robo. Okay. Robo over here on the right-hand side. It's been hidden. SCV might come in and get the full scout, but he won't see that Robo, so he might be pretty thrown off thinking that it's like a very fast third Nexus that's going to be coming online with only one gateway. And this could throw off sSak quite a bit. Let's see. Running in with the SCV. Oh, the SCV. Can he actually get in the main? Oh my gosh, the miss shot there. That's crazy. The miss shot is wild. The probe comes off the line to kill that. Not able to scout all the pylons here in the main base. Only sees the one gateway. Might assume that there's a third coming up soon, but without the full scout of the main, I don't think the illusion is complete for Best. Finally, a tank makes its way forward. Best at least setting up some pylons at that third. Getting prepared to take that. We're going to have a Reaver here in just a moment. Let's see if Best is capable of juggling this Reaver and dealing massive damage to SOC. As he's getting this gaseous fast expand off the ground. Single Dragoon going to be hopping up into that shuttle, I imagine. Single Dragoon and a Reaver. Going to be beginning this attack here shortly. Kind of funny, a proxy location like that. The only reason I can think to have the proxy in that spot, I mean, slightly closer than in the main base. Very slightly closer. I think the main thing would be to obfuscate the builds and not allow SOC to actually know what's coming here. But he's got all the turrets set up in the main. And he's going to have 4 tanks here to respond. Getting a shot there. Okay, he does kill off the turret. No, the turret doesn't die. Okay, the turret actually lives. And so Best, I mean, not really getting anything out of this Reaver initially. Just going to fall back here. Loses some health on the shuttle and the Reaver. Not the best first drop. SOC hanging in there so far. He's setting up his camp in the jungle, but he's not aware of the monsters that are hiding in the woods. He's starting to push out a little bit too far right now. That's a pretty aggressive push, man. That's a lot of tanks. This is almost Mihu style. So many tanks have been made. We got 1 vulture in there. 1 vulture. SOC just going to start to push forward. Reaver is prepped. Good dodge there with the vulture. He actually gets the damage on the Reaver. Ho ho! Wow. Kills off the Reaver. That is a surprise. Gonna back up to the tanks. Just out of range here. Slowly leapfrogging forward. Does lose the turret. And the SCV along with it. SOC gonna slowly start to move towards this choke point. If he can trap Best in the top right, maybe he can easily take out that third. More SCVs are coming up here to add on additional turrets. He's leapfrogged almost all the way past his own mines here. Gonna dive on top of this Reaver. Double kill on that Reaver as the vultures try to run forward a bit too aggressively. Tanks are spreading out further and further. Dragoons are coming around behind this army. They're gonna start to cut off reinforcements. Vultures are not gonna be able to make their way up here to reinforce this position anymore, and waiting for a few zealots to come online. Best at 700 minerals. A little bit out of character there. Ooh, can he actually target on the Reaver? Not able to hit the Reaver from his position there with the... Oh, wow. Nice. Double kill there on the Reaver again. Not able to hit the Reaver with that tank just to the south of the screen. Another Reaver being brought forward. Now both of them lifted up into this shuttle. As the Dragoons come from behind, they may end up walking into some of these mines. Reaver's dropped right in the midst of everything, but hardly dealing any damage there. And look at this. Attack is actually going to work. SOC takes a win. The first win in this series. Oh, okay. Let's see what you're doing here. Let's get into game number 2. We got SOC down here in the bottom right. Best over in the top left. Took a L there, game number 1, but the king of comebacks, Best. Always plays better from behind. The running joke between Shin and I. We'll see if that pattern continues in this series. Best really turns it on after that first loss. Dropped the ball with his Reaver control for sure in that last game. Wasn't able to get any damage and lost his Reaver as the push was coming. But a pretty solid attack from SOC overall. Very Mihu-esque. Going for mass tanks. And just putting the damage on, putting the hurt on immediately. Before Vulture, or before Zealots can really come online. It was mostly a Dragoon Reaver defense, and he pushed out really cleanly against those Reavers. It's often the case that a player like Snow will be able to get, you know, 2, 3, 4 shots off on tanks as they're pushing across the map, but Best not able to accomplish that. And here we are again. I think SOOP gonna open with a gasless once more. You can see he's surpassed that 100 minerals back at home, so indeed we may be seeing that gasless fast expand again. Not a bad choice. We're cross map. Best again not opening with Nexus first, and so this can give a bit of an advantage to SOOP. He'll have to be very diligent in making sure that there's no proxies or anything like that, and he's not going to just get Reaver busted right off the bat. But as long as he repairs his bunker, make sure that he doesn't get elevated into the main or have a DT play break him open, this could result in a bit of a SOOP advantage. Best may have to take some risks, you know, take a very early third base and run the risk of getting bowled over again if he wants to bring this into a strong macro mid and late game. That's where he really does shine. Once he gets that third and fourth base online and he can just slam out Speed Zealots and Dragoons, High Templars and Shuttles, and do what he does best. Pun intended. We've got SOOP throwing his SCVs into that gas geyser. Will be getting his factory online here momentarily. For now, building the bare minimum number of Marines. I think he's got 1 Marine in that bunker. Just a single Marine in there. Hardly enough to even tickle the Dragoon as it runs by, but with the setup behind the bunker, it's going to be very hard for that Dragoon to run past Zealot as well. You can just kind of delay them at the SCV line with some body blocking and get away with an incredibly lax defense. We'll get in here, sees the Nexus, the timing on that. It's not going to be very happy. He's even going to see the Robo and this. Oh, okay. That's not range. I'm going to assume that that's range, but it's going to be canceled. Are we going to see? Okay, Reaver. Interesting. Wants to fake that he has a range making, but SOOP may be able to suss that out. I believe this is a starport down bottom left. And so SOOP going to go for a drop. Gasless fast expand into drop. He's going to have very few units back at home to really handle anything to defend. And so, you know, he might take damage from this Reaver. We'll see. The drop play at this moment is going to come in probably about the same time as the Reaver drop comes in. It can get pretty chaotic when these two builds meet. Both players are going to be multitasking. Both at home and in their opponent's base. Like I said, it can get quite hectic. We'll see the relative timings here in a moment. The Reaver's about to pop out, and I think this dropship's just on the way. Looks like he's going to see that shuttle coming across the map, so he knows exactly when that's going to arrive. He might even cancel the dropship and just make a Wraith. Yeah, he does. Just going to make a Wraith. This is a very good scout from SOOP. A lot of times the Terran players will lose in a trade like this. You know, you drop the Vultures in. The Vultures deal a lot of damage, but they can't kill Dragoons, so unless mine connections get off, but that's unlikely. A lot of mines getting laid down here in the main base. This Wraith is about to pop out, dude. This Wraith is gonna potentially just kill this shuttle. Yeah, he's gonna see it right now. Oh, he's gonna do a ton of damage here. He was waiting. Best was waiting. Oh my god, the pull here of the SCVs is kind of crazy. 4 seconds and it will dud. There it is. It does dud out and he kills the Reaver. Excellent hold there. I was a little bit scared for SOC as he pulled every SCV down to that bottom patch. Could have been an absolutely insane connection on that Reaver, but Saki pulled those SCVs down and then kind of made them all on stop position to have the Reaver scare bug out. Excellently done by him. Now he can follow up with a drop. Send this dropship out. Go ahead and drop vultures into the main base as the Dragoons are kind of busy here clearing out mines. Dude, Sock's in a great spot. Let's see if we can get some damage with this. There's actually no Dragoons here in the main. Oh my gosh. I can't believe Best got in there, saw the starport with an add-on, and didn't prepare for a drop to come into the main. He's going to lose a couple probes here. Run by now down into the natural. 4, 5, 6 probes and a 7. Yeah, 7 probes is pretty nasty for 4 vultures. Dude, SOC is doing it. It's crazy to me, but he's actually making it happen. He's finding ways to break through Best. And he's defending all of the drop play at the same time. Surely Best is favored to win this. He's favored in this matchup 100%, but maybe this is just the deficit that Best needs. Like I said, he is certainly better from behind. He seems to just turn it on once things get a little bit scary, a little awkward. As long as he doesn't die here, he's going to get into his 4 base. Going to get into his 4 base play. SOC is going to make a massive army. He's going to drop a ton of factories with this 3 base online. It's going to be difficult to fight this army, but nobody does it better than Best, dude. He is so good at fighting armies like this, and now he's going to dive in. Reaver here in the 3rd base, going to be hitting some of these SCVs. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage to the SCVs, and in fact, that Reaver goes down. Nice snipe there. 2 Wraiths are able to clear up that shuttle very quickly and start to take out that Reaver. A lot of damage on these Dragoons as they attempt to kill off a couple more tanks, but are unable to do really much of anything. Best getting shut down pretty hard, and SOC is 10 supply ahead. This is a scary amount of deficit. Double Robo coming online now. We're going to see Best in full effect here. From behind in a desperate spot. Is he going to be able to break the push of SOC that's going to be coming out here soon? 124 supply. I'm expecting like a 160 move out from SOC. He may want to move down and just take his 4th, though. That 4th base is very close. Pretty easy to get that online. He may want to do so before moving across the map. He's setting up mines all over the place, making sure that he's got good vision of where Best expands to next. With those 2 Wraiths. Oh, okay, hold on. Dive over here at the 3rd. Looks like he gets a few probe kills, but nothing too massive, nothing too significant. Still, saw quite a bit ahead in those in that SCV count. 72 SCVs already, and yeah, this is what I was talking about. Once you've got the 2 Wraiths, you build a vessel. You've got the perfect force for clearing out observers. can track them down wherever they go. And Best is just going to lose a lot of vision around the Terran opponent. He's not really going to be able to see what SOC is up to. This is some excellent Wraith usage from SOC. He's in fact going to just push straight across the map. He knows that Best has no vision of him. He knows that Best is completely unaware of his army movement. And so he's going to use that to full advantage. Look, he's going to come right to the natural and siege up without Best being aware of the situation at all. Okay, these Dragoons are moving northward. They're going to pick up on this, but it's way too late. The tanks are right here at the natural now. Going to snipe down this Observer again. Observer's going to go away. And now the army can move. It's back in the fog of war. Going to move right up here towards this natural. Utilize this very annoying little wall here. Start to set up these tanks over across that wall. Oh, tanks rallying across the map are almost going to get caught, but it looks like they will rally forward. Best in a very difficult situation. He's going to start to lose a lot of probes here. He's losing almost all the probes before this drop can come in. And here comes that double Wraith play again. Double Wraith. Going to start to pick off a lot of these shuttles. And there it is. GG. Oh my goodness. SOC takes game number 2. Are you kidding me? Really strong play from him. I'm kind of shocked. On to game number 3. Best spawning the bottom left. SOC over there in the top left. Already 2 games down. But a surprising beginning to this series. We'll see if Best can turn things around now. I didn't expect him to really... I didn't expect SOC to really win anything here. I expected a 4-0. But Best, I mean, he plays very well from behind. I imagine we'll see at least a somewhat of a recovery now, right? I feel like a caster cursed him into the Shadow Realm, but maybe he can make his way back for us. Find a way to give us a good series, and something of a reverse sweep could still occur. SOC. Is it going to continue on with gasless fast expand? It really does look that way. And Best just sticking with his build as well. Another gateway gas. Not going to try and mix things up here. Best just wants to play his style, play the normal way. I wonder if he's still going to go Reaver in this game, or will he do something a little different, like 3-gate obs or something. Just something nice and safe that can get him a quick third base. He's been aping in these Reavers over and over again and getting little to nothing out of it. And yeah, another gasless fast expand from SOC. That's gonna spot this now. How is he going to react? Is it time to make a proxy? Maybe he just goes Dragoon range and hits the bunker. That's also a possibility. SOC has the money for it. It hasn't taken the gas yet. There we go. Gas starts. I'll try and fight these SCVs at the mineral line. At least force one of them off the line. You can see SOC has a very nice Sim City over at the front, but maybe this Zealot can do something while the Marine is distracted chasing this probe. Oh, the Sim City is not as good as I thought, and he actually doesn't have a bunker. Being really greedy. Oh my goodness, not even building a bunker here is kind of rich. Pretty surprised that SOC didn't want to make that. We're going to have these two Marines split up. As the Zealot goes to try and track that one down. Some SCVs are going to be pulled. Oh, that SCV actually lives. Crazy. All right, pulls back, and he actually saves all the Marines and kills the Zealot. Very well done. Was looking a little hairy there for a moment, but just barely got enough damage onto that Zealot. Kills it without losing even a single unit. And skipping that bunker for a really long time. Only did it hold off on building that for quite a long period. Now the SCV gets in and spots absolutely everything. Nexus is going to be thrown down here for Best. He's maybe just not feeling it today, man. I'm not sure what's going on with Best, but he's just going to take his Nexus behind this and send these Dragoons across to deal damage to that bunker. He should be able to force the repair a bit of that Protoss tax factory out on the map. Huh? Well, I'm not sure what to think about this. I believe we're gonna have vultures with mines get made, and he's gonna try and put the mines behind these Dragoons. That's gonna be kind of interesting. We'll see how that actually works out for him. Extracting the Protoss tax. Forcing the repair over and over again here. Probably gonna make a tank in the main with mines. No speed. Oh, wow. Okay, SOC is gonna make a bunch of vultures and try to run by while the Dragoons are here at the front. So Best believes that there's no way out of this main except through these Dragoons, but he has no idea about that extra. Oh, 4 Dragoons can two-shot a tank. Can he actually get the tank? Oh my God, landing the barracks on top of the Dragoons. The Dragoons actually slip by into the main base. This is a bit of a scary moment here for SOC, but at the same time, he is going to be able to slip some vultures in, I think, and maybe start to deal some damage to Best while this is going on. Trying to surround these Dragoons. This is a little bit of a nightmare situation for SOC. We actually get this. Okay, he does surround that Dragoon. We'll pick that off. And the tank can actually kill this kind of for free now. Vultures out on the map. Haven't been sent in just yet. Maybe he's waiting for mines as well. Here comes those. No, he's just waiting for 3 vultures. All right, 3 vultures gonna come running in. No, Best has no idea about this. He's gonna lose so many probes here, guys. So many probes are about to go down. Is that a Reaver in the shuttle? He's got a Reaver here. That's gonna help out quite a bit. Doesn't actually have a Reaver just yet. So many probe kills, guys. It is absolutely brutal. That 3rd base is coming up for Best right now, but he's hardly gonna have any probes at all to be able to saturate that. Another run by here as soon as the shuttle leaves. 2 vultures making their way into the main. Are we actually gonna have a 3-0 for SOC? Are you kidding me right now? That is absolutely ridiculous. Never would have imagined that this could take place, guys, but it's so close to being over here for Best as he loses more and more and more probes. Gonna dive in with this Reaver now. Reaver comes in, but a great pull away for SOC. He actually duds that Scarab out and has 3 tanks ready to start gunning that down. The Dragoon is gone. Oh, gets 1 shot on the SCVs. SCVs taking a lot of damage, but vultures are still killing probes, guys. Vultures are still in this main base, dealing that damage. An excellent play from SOC. Hiding a factory out on the map turned out to be an awesome decision from him. And yeah, once again, getting in here, killing even more probes at this mineral line. More probes going down. 8 worker advantage for SOC at this point. And yes, there are 3 bases, but there's just not enough probes to saturate all this stuff, guys. There's certainly not. He really should have stayed and just killed another probe. Kind of funny there, but SOOP has done an excellent job. He's going to float that factory back now. Third base on the way. His advantage is massive. He hasn't lost any tanks. He's killed the Reaver, the initial... Or no, he hasn't killed the Reaver, excuse me. He's denied the Reaver in the main base. And he's killed an immense number of probes. Throwing Best for a loop in this game. Best, so well known for just solid macro play, is struggling to get much of anything out here. Just 2 more gateways coming up. All right, there is one in the naturals. He's going up to 4 gateways, but I'm sure we're going to have SOOP matching that pretty soon. Doesn't have a lot of space in his main for actually making these factories, but is going to be able to get up to 3 factories pretty quickly while pushing forward as well. This is kind of an aggressive push from SOOP. Looks like he's just going to take his high ground for the time being over in front of his third base. But he's open to a counterattack. Best. Maybe going to loop around, go onto the high ground in front of SOOP's natural. Start to mess with him here. He's only got 4 Dragoons, though. 4 Dragoons really can't do much of anything. Not with SOOP having this many tanks out already. Looks like Best just going to take a 4th behind this. But SOOP having this really nice, quick third base. 50 SCVs already. He's going to be able to pump up that factory count extremely fast. Best going to be looking for ways to get back into this game. How can he find a way to dismantle SOOP here? If he doesn't think of something quick, he's going to be down 3-0 in this series, which is a miserable position to be in. You can't make even a single mistake for the rest of the series. Have to 4-0 SOOP in order to get that victory. And so it's not a position anyone wants to be in. SOOP searching around for some more probes. He's going to try and slip by into the natural. Not going to find an angle to do so. So going to go over to the third instead. And man, is he going to get even more probes here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 probes, guys. 38 probes left. Oh my gosh, Best. What happened? What happened to my boy? Best is struggling mightily here. 10 workers behind where SOOP is at. SOOP likely to take a 4th base here soon. He's certainly got the muscle to do so as he gets all these factories online. Best doesn't have what it takes to really stop him, to shut him down. Another 2, 3 probes are going to go down at this third base as well. 4 probes more dying off here. Again, still just about 10 workers behind. Actually, Best closing that gap slowly but surely. SOOP sticking around 50 SCVs. Is he just going to go for it, not take a 4th, and try to end this game? There is that possibility. Starts another upgrade back at home, so maybe not. Maybe gonna move to take this 4th base now. As he sets up mines out in the middle of the map, that'll become more of a possibility. Covering his flanks and letting him know what's coming his direction. 4 more vultures making their way over to this third base. It's so hard to defend this location. You can't just make a pylon wall and prevent those vultures from sliding in whenever they want. Have to keep forces active at that location all the time. Good block there. Able to get rid of these vultures finally. But again, SOOP sitting at 50 workers. I don't think he's planning to take this 4th, guys. I think he just wants to attack. He's working towards a max, or at least like a 160 supply. Building up a huge army. Best, likewise, has a lot of stuff here, but only 20 supply ahead. I don't know if it's enough to break through all this. Maybe if he catches everything unsieged. Okay, everything in the siege up here. Right as this attack comes in. Zealots are getting picked off pretty quickly. Reavers are doing a pretty good job. A lot of these vultures are going down. That's a great Reaver connection, actually killing a lot of these vultures. Like 4 or 5 vultures went down all at the same time. He's starting to break through a little bit. Won't have to back up though. Quite a few tanks were taken down, but a lot of army was traded off there in the end. SOC adding even more factories here. Still no 4th base. Gonna go again. It's go time for Best. Running in one more time. Vultures here at the front. Gonna try and slow down these Zealots as they jump on top. He's got to target down the Dragoons in the back line with his tanks. Bring the Vulture reinforcements up to deal with these Zealots. Looks like he is gonna be able to do that. Cleaning up the Zealots here at the end of this fight. Tanks are gonna move forward, re-secure this high ground. Both players on 104 supply. sSak beginning his counterattack. Is this too fast? Is this a little bit too over-eager from SOC? Oh boy, he's gonna push right up in front of these Dragoons. He's gonna lose a tank without even firing a shot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I think there might be a chance here that Best just breaks all this stuff and starts to push SOC all the way back. Dude, SOC being too aggressive with this push. He's gonna lose everything. And now Best is right back in this game. Even after all the probe damage was done. If you move your army the way that SOC is and manage to throw all the tanks away, it's still not gonna go well for you. Best will eventually expand out onto the map and get into his macro game. 3 vultures over here with almost no HP. There's like maybe 20 HP between all 3 of those. But they're at least going to be able to deny this base for a little bit longer. Dragoons are moving down. A lot of Dragoons moving down to clear those 2 vultures. So there might be an opportunity here for SOC to suddenly move forward. Surging up here towards this 3rd base. Almost getting in range of that. Moving up towards this high ground. I don't see any Templar or anything in this army. And we're dangerously close in supply. Actually, SOC should have a better army supply right now because he's more than 10 workers behind. More than 10 workers behind where Best is at. That's just going to transfer his workers away. This tank on low ground actually able to hit that Nexus, which is quite annoying. Splash damage. The double-edged sword there for the Terran race, killing off some of these vultures as he attempts to kill that Nexus. He's actually going to pull the tanks away. I'm surprised he pulled those 2 tanks back. Just gonna let the vultures try to finish off the Nexus. Hopefully they can get the job done here for SOC. Otherwise he'll really regret that, letting that Nexus finish. Responding here as he defends his 4th base. Best is gonna back away. And it seems like SOC is starting to put the kibosh on this game. He's starting to take full control once again in this game. Running by with some more vultures. There's a lot of probes here, and they're going to be transferring down towards that bottom center. It's a perfect time to jump on top of all these, killing huge amounts of probes at this base. Giving up a lot of vultures here, but that was an extreme amount of damage. Down to just 44 probes now. Remember, he was a full 10 probes ahead of SOC. Now down below him. That really did hurt his overall economy, and his supply is very low. 167 to... Oh my gosh, so many more probes going down. This is crazy. The amount of damage that SOC is able to get from these vulture run-bys. Dropping him to 39 probes. Got 39 probes is wild. 10 probes behind. He went from 10 probes ahead now to 10 probes behind. A Hail Mary drop Appears to be Best's last option. Hail Mary into the main base. We'll see if this drop lands or if it gets completely shut out. There's some mines in here. Some turrets are coming up as well. Looks like the turrets are going to finish right as this drop comes through. Quite a bit of the zealots in here. The shuttles are going to start to die. Here comes some storms. Storms on the tanks. So the SCVs are actually going to all live. One more storm. Good dodge. Very good dodge. Pretty good storm there at the end. Gets quite a few kills. Down to 42. About 8 total SCVs have been killed. May want to start replacing some of those, but he's gotten rid of every shuttle. Every shuttle is gone. Best can remake those, but there's going to be a little bit of a gap in Best's ability to break any of these pushes. Without the shuttles, he's really going to struggle to maneuver his Templar around to the right spots and get Reavers into good position. Vultures here are going to be taking out this pylon and threatening the Nexus while the army's pushing on the left-hand side. This is textbook Terran play. Vultures on the right, army on the left, dragging these Dragoons down towards the bottom right. As the army pushes up onto this high ground, that's quite a few tanks set up in a very tight formation. You got to be careful not to stack things up. As SOOP here, oh, looks like we're having a bit of a lag as this game goes into its final moments. SOOP really getting up here in the face of Best. Going to hit some pretty big drops on top of all of this stuff. SOOP, can he actually hold on? Yes, he will. Not enough from Best. That's the first time I've ever said that sentence. Best. Not enough stuff. Just not enough stuff. Got slowed down so much in his economy that even with good drops and excellent storms, he's not going to be able to clear and win this game. Kind of a wild series we're having here. This is 3-0 for SOOP. Critical levels of caster curse. All right, guys, 3-0 with Best on the ropes. SOOP spawning in the top left, Best down here bottom right. This is kind of a devastating series. SOOP has been handling all the drops of Best. He's been handling every attempt to deal Reaver damage with precision. Able to block out everything that Best tried to do so far. Best going to send a probe across the map. Is this for a gas steal? SOOP has been doing only gasless so far, so a gas steal doesn't seem that impressive. I'm surprised we haven't seen Best switch it up into Nexus first in this series. After seeing gasless over and over again, why not go for a Nexus first? He's putting himself behind in just about every game so far. He's going to steal that gas. But of course, SOOP doesn't really care about that. He's happy to go for a gasless fast expand, as we've seen time and time again. He's not placed his barracks in the natural as usual, but I think we'll see him just grab this CC with a forward gateway. Best wants to put on a bit of pressure. There's two different modes of thinking for the gas steal. You either gas steal and take a Nexus first, or you gas steal and build a forward gateway. And so SOOP wants to figure out, you know, what are you exactly up to? Oh, wow. Second barracks out on the map. Bit of a shame that he didn't scout, because I think if he knew that this was forward gateway, I don't think he would do this. I think he would probably opt to just take the gasless. Oh my god. Oh, barely doesn't see that. You've got to be kidding me. That is a flash SCV for sure, not revealing himself. by moving to the top of that barracks at just the precise moment. Pulling a bunch of SCVs. He wants to make it look like, hey, yeah, I'm building a bunker expansion here. Definitely. No, guys, for sure. That's what I'm doing. Pretty good blocking so far, but he has to pull the one SCV that's taking a lot of damage. Oh, he's going to lose the Marine. SCV on the bunker is getting a little low. Okay. Does manage to keep that SCV alive. All SCVs still alive here. And he's killing off the gas. He's really selling it to SOC. He's selling it to him that he's going for this. Oh, the Zealot, it can't see it. It's crazy, but it just barely can't see that. Bunker here at the front. Best's gonna slip by and see that there's no CC just yet. Gotta be a bit confused right now as to what's actually going on. There's three Zealots at the front. They're ready to fight this. SCV comes in. Doesn't build a bunker just yet. A lot of Marines are moving across the map. Is he going to start this bunker now? Well, there's a Zealot here in the naturals, so he probably won't be able to do that. His army is split up. He's pulling the SCVs, pulling the boys, bringing all the Marines forward. There's the reveal on that extra barracks. So he knows now exactly what's coming here. Can the Marines fight these Zealots and bring SOC to a 4-0? Will Best be able to hold on. He builds a forge. The forge is very important. That forge coming up means that cannons are on the way. It puts a big timer on this attack. You have to go here as SOC. You can't just sit back. Don't be hitting that gateway, SOC. That's not the right call. All right, he's going to attack the gateway. Got to start killing these cannons here pretty soon. Has to fight through the Zealots first, but yeah, he will have to kill the cannons if he wants to break this. Now that the cannons are done, though, you can kind of play it like a Hydralus, like there's a Hydra bus coming. You just keep the Zealots in front. As soon as the Marines walk forward to try and start hitting something, that's when the Zealots come out to fight. But if he doesn't want to pull forward, you just keep the Zealots back. Yeah, one Zealot moving around the outside here. He's going to try and get a Marine kill. SOC really doesn't have a follow-up to this. Might build a factory, actually. Maybe he builds a factory in the front, start to build a tank. Oh, all the Zealots slipped out. Oh my gosh, the Zealots are just going to do a little run by. Double SCV on the ramp. Gateway. I think that Best has this. There's not really a good way to transition this for SOC, unfortunately. Oh, he gets the SCV. And he's going to get into the main. Good God, does it take a lot of hits from Marines to kill a single Zealot. It's pretty ridiculous. These Marines coming up from behind, but that's a lot of Zealots. Can't fight this without SCVs in front. Is he building a factory out on the map? He is. He is building a factory out on the map. They're going to try to, while all this chaos is going on, get a tank up to the front and break the cannons there. But Best will have Dragoons out here soon. 2 more Zealots slip by. This is getting really dangerous here for SOC. He's only got 3 Marines in this mineral line. The 4th Marine does arrive. Start to hit this supply depot. Start to kill some of these SCVs as well. Yeah, this is so difficult to hold. Coming from both sides here. Marines are going to start to die. A factory is finishing. And there it is. Best takes this game away. The counterattack of Zealots a little bit too strong. He really needed to block those from getting out onto the map, but wasn't able to do so. And so Best takes a game away, finally putting one on the board. Big ups Eddie Slide for that 500 gems. We're jumping into game number 5. We got Best over here in the top right-hand corner. SOC in the bottom left. Can this be a full reverse sweep? Best shutting down that cheeky barracks play. Double barracks with a cannon. Double cannon play on his side. Those 2 cannons are just so strong, man. It's crazy how much better Hydras are at breaking down cannons than Marines. You've got Like 20 Marines. You can't break 2 cannons. It is wild how strong they are at just killing them off. 2-shotting each Marine one by one without stim, range, and of course medics to assist. It's nigh impossible to kill 2 cannons with just pure Marine. Like nearly impossible, guys. And so he's able to just send those zealots around the map, get that counter damage, and make the follow-up play from SOC completely irrelevant. Now Best here, opening with a gateway in the front once again. Looking for his opponent. Not going to be able to get a gas steal going or anything like that, but seems like SOC is not interested in taking his gas anyway. We'll be throwing down a gasless fast expand once again. Let's see if he can capture some more of that lightning in a bottle. That very strong Marine control that he was showing us earlier. Ooh, gets the gas down right before Best has 100 minerals and arrives in that main base. And so SOC avoids all potential early game harassment from that probe, and now the Zealot's going to make its way forward. See if it can't get in there and deal some damage. There is going to be a bunker this time. Second Marine on the way as well. Make sure he's got a fortified position to drop back to. See if the Zealot can actually catch the Marine on the angle. Oh, he's going to get on top of that Marine. And so as soon as he jumps in the bunker, that Zealot's going to run by. Ooh, okay. Trying to block with the SCV. He almost messed it up there and blocked his Marine. Run away with the SCV as it takes too much damage. He wants to preserve the life of that, but he may end up losing this SCV as a result. He does lose the SCV here on the CC. Probably should have just blocked with the other SCV, not allowed the Zealot to run by for free. Gonna cancel and move that SCV around. Keeps that CC going. Pretty good control. Overall, out of SOC, you're losing just the 1 SCV. Definitely acceptable. He's got a fairly quick CC back at home. We'll be finishing up ahead of this Nexus. And he will get the SCV by once again, getting full information on what the follow-up is here for Best. Oh, this Dragoon also not able to fire there over that mineral patch. He sees the confirm on the cybernetic score, knows what's coming. And look at this. He's going to take the third. Are you kidding me? 1 factory into 3 base, I think, is what we're going to see out of SOC. He's building something up there in the high ground that could be something else, but it really did look like he wanted to take a third very quickly. After getting the full scout, it is 100% possible he just grabs this now. I believe he's building a supply depot up here on the high ground just to utilize that time with the SCV. But yeah, here comes the third CC. Wow, 3 CC on 1 factory from SOC. And look at what Best is doing. He went for 3 Nexus off of 1 gateway. And so this pretty much favors the Terran player. Even though the Nexus is a little faster, you're supposed to be able to stay ahead in bases. Here as the Protoss, and he's going to be stuck on 3 base. I definitely don't think he's going to take 4 base, right? I don't think he takes 4 base on 1 gateway and tries to play from there. I don't even think that's worth it, right? You're not going to have enough probes to make that work, but he's going to get in with the observers here soon and see that this next CC is going to be finishing up. How is he going to react to that? He's already got 3 gateways coming up. I feel like you have to make a decision here as Best. Do you A, just try to bust them open, or do you try to double down on the grade? Okay, sees the observer. He sees the observer and he just immediately cancels a bunch of stuff. As the observer flies in, he realizes, okay, I guess I don't need turrets just yet. Let's get some more factories out here. Maybe that was a starport. I'm gonna build a Wraith, realizing he just needs ground and pound army to hold on against all of the gateways that are up for best. Gonna start to pump out some tanks. We'll have siege mode on the way here shortly. Eventually, he's gonna need those turrets, though. There is a shuttle incoming. You really have to be cautious here as SOC, because this is such a precarious position. 3 base on just 1 factory. It gives you an amazing lead in the economy, but there's going to be so many ways to bust this Terran player open, even with Best choosing the option of taking out 4th base immediately. It's still possible that Best just cracks him. Just, you know, gets Dragoons on the right spot, kills off a couple of tanks, and then just rolls right through the natural. It is 100% possible. But it's likely here that this game will go on. The SOC will be able to really batten down and get his +2 started. Grab all the factories that he wants and build up to just a massive army. It's really going to come down to the first couple of pushes. If SOC doesn't push out and get a 4th base right away, or come across the map and just kill Best, then that push gets shut down. It's going to be very hard to get another push together, and that'll be the last push. He's got about 2 chances, because the natural and 3rd base are both very low yield. Do not have a lot of mineral patches. Mineral patches are quite low. I'm gonna go ahead and drop Reaver here. Gets a couple of kills so far. Not too bad for Best, but he's got to kill that turret before he can get out. Okay, gets the turret, gets out. SCVs are going to be sent back. A little bit of damage here for Best, but we've seen games like this before. Best poking in just here and there, getting tiny bits of damage, and then SOC seems to get way more damage with his vultures. We got the factory explosion is pretty much complete now. Up to about 60 SCVs. They're going to be mining out very quickly. You can see the natural is already starting to get kind of low. Just surpassing that 100 count in supply, SOC. I'm gonna go ahead and change the music. Go back to the Protoss mix, as it's time for that reverse sweep. Best comeback on the way. I think +1 is done. Okay, he's got double forge. Neither of them are spinning right now, though. It's just a little bit confusing. SOC got double turret over here at the natural. He sees the shuttles moving around the top side. He should be moving Goliaths into position. That double turret's going to be pretty nasty. Can he actually kill the shuttles here? He's targeting on the shuttle that had the Reaver in it. I think he's going to kill this Reaver in no time flat. He actually keeps the tank alive. Okay, the tank does die to the Zealot at the end of that fight. And the second tank goes down as well. So not too bad here for Best. Not getting the economic damage he was looking for, but killing off a few tanks here and there is not bad at all. Vultures heading up towards top left. Can he actually slip by? Oh gosh, Best not quick enough to react to this. Is going to allow these vultures to slip past and potentially deal quite a bit more damage. 2, 3, 4 probes are going to go down. This is already kind of matching the damage that was done to SOC earlier. Can he get a storm off? Wow, too many turrets there. This storm only getting about 1 SCV. That is rough. SOC at 61 SCVs still. The fact does remain, though, These bases are going to mine out soon. SOOP needs to get rolling here pretty quickly. If he wants to get a 4th base online, indeed he will. 4th base going to be built over there at the natural. Might float that to the center left and push along the vertical axis, try to get up into top left. We'll see if that works out for him. If that's indeed what he wants to go for. Moving around with this little hit squad, sniping down observers everywhere. Best trying to take another corner of the map. He's going to push a probe down to bottom right and try to take that location. Slowly moving out here. SOOP at 142 supply. His +2 is going to be near completion. Here at the 12-minute mark. He's assuming he hit that right on time. I'm not sure the exact timing that should be with a 3 CC play, but it should be coming online soon. This shuttle hanging around with 4 High Templar. That's a lot of Storm available for Best. It's going to be up to SOOP to really start to split up his army. He's got to keep these tanks spread out extremely well. This is something that Light does better than anybody else, is spread his tanks, pre-spread his tanks before these attacks come in. Make sure that no tanks are close enough together to where storms can hit multiple of them. But here we are with a lot of tanks stacked on top of each other. I think we're going to have some excellent storms. There's one on one tank. Not the absolute best that could have happened, but he's pushing even further forward here, trying to snipe down some of these Templar. Tanks will hold the line for now, but another round of Vulture, or another round of Zealot should be making its way forward here soon. Dragoon sliding by over to that center left. He's going to try and get in there behind those mineral patches and stop the mining, at least for now. Vulture rallies making their way forward. Tanks pulling up as well. I don't see a big round of Zealots making its way across the map for Best, so doesn't look like he's going to be able to crack this open, and SOOP will hold his 4th. With that 4th going up, it's an all right position for SOOP, but again, base in bottom right just came up, so 3 quadrants of the map are now being held down by Best. The problem is he doesn't have gateways everywhere just yet. He's got 2 gateways in top left. Again, stacking his tanks up a bit too much. There's 3 tanks in each of those storm areas, like that one and that one right there. You can see a couple of storms will kill at least 3 tanks. And so gotta be a little bit careful with that. Gonna set up some mines here right as the army's coming in. Oh gosh, these mines might actually do SOOP some harm. There's a big storm there on the first 3 tanks. Gonna try and snipe down some of these High Templar as they run forward, but running directly into storm with those vultures. A lot of those vultures are just gonna go down immediately. But the tank line is deep. SOOP holding on. If he tries to push forward right now, he might actually lose this game. He's got to be a little bit patient here and wait for some more units to come out. Try to run around with vultures and get into the supply trains of Best. In fact, he will try to do so. There are some Stargates in the main base now for Best. It looks like he's going for double Stargate Arbiter in the late game. And SOOP is going to indeed push up towards the top left. This is a little bit of a scary moment here on both sides. If SOOP starts to break into this top left and take over this area, then he's going to be able to secure half the map, and that's a scary spot for Best to be in. However, this is quite a long extension. He's extending himself pretty far out onto the map here, and Best may be able to crack through. Ooh, pulling back there. D-Matrix. One D-Matrix comes down on one of these tanks, but the storms are cleaving through a lot of this. Templar are getting sniped down. Tanks coming up to reinforce, but they're going to walk way too close here before sieging up. And right in range of these Dragoons, and the Zealots are going to jump on top of them. He does clear this out at the end of the day, though. That fight goes SOOP's way. He holds this position. He's going to continue to muster additional forces to this location. Best is having a hard time putting together an army that can break this. SOOP gotta stay spread, keep laying down mines, and make sure not to get hit by some devastating storms as he pushes into this top left. Drop down here at the bottom right. At the same time as all this craziness is going on, double Goliath plus a tank. Gonna be pretty well positioned there to shut this down. Storm here. He does snipe down the Templar before the storm can go off, but 2 more storms follow that up. Zealots all get cleared. And the mines are cleaning out a lot of this. He's going to kill the Nexus here on high ground and can bring the tank down to start dealing damage to that Nexus there on low ground. Dude, SOOP is playing a magnificent game right now. Very low supply, just 136, but he's still hanging in there. And he's going to be able to kill this Nexus up on high ground. Dude, Best is on the ropes. Seriously on the ropes. The underdog here, SOOP, making it happen. This could be a really big upset here, Best. Gonna send in just a few Zealots at a time. He's just not able to muster these forces together. He's got that +3 done now, but 2-2 is ready for SOOP, and he's taking these great fights. Another couple of good storms go down. Zealots are clearing out a lot of this stuff, but good control with the Vultures to get the most out of them. Using that concussive shot to deal this damage. Get rid of those Zealots and slowly push in towards this base. He's just out of range of that cannon. He's going to start to wipe out these probes in top left. Best is desperately trying to secure another base down in bottom right. He's taking that high ground. It's a little bit closer to him. Seems like that drop has been dealt with. The drop has been cleaned up, but comes even more units towards top left. Every single probe is gone, guys. 42 workers left for Best. Is there much hope for him in this game? Well, if we get a mineral check here soon, we can see that SOOP is empty at his natural and third. His third is just about to mine out here. Very low on resources still. I think he might be out mining Best, who is also out of resources at these bases, but is only mining down in bottom right. For the most part, there's hardly any probes over in top left. Hardly any probes in the main natural and third. A lot more Goliaths are coming out here to start gunning down these shuttles as they come in. That's a lot of tanks as well being brought forward. A counterattack possibly from Best. Moving down towards the bottom center. Storms on top of a lot of this stuff. These Zealots are doing a great job killing off some of these tanks, but it seems like the tanks will stand. At the end of the day, he pushes everything back. Maybe he can kill this command center. He's denying bases for the time being from SOOP. SOOP lifted his CC from that third to come float down here, and it's just been killed. Best still mining down here in bottom right, and he's getting some mining going back up in the top left again. That Nexus was not killed. All the probes died, but the Nexus managed to survive. Arbiters are being made, and Best has that transition on the way. He's actually 50 supply ahead somehow, some way of SOOP. The gas is starting to run out of the tank at this point. SOOP just doesn't have a lot of income going for him. He's basically on one mining base, whereas Best kind of has 2 online. He's getting a little income from his main natural and third, while mining in top left and mining in bottom right. Get a triple kill there for that Dark Templar by dragging the mine in. SOOP still trying to push up towards top left and towards bottom right, splitting his army in 2 different directions. These sieges up here. We'll be able to kill a lot of these Dragoons. Actually, Dragoons are going to get wiped. And this base is really under threat. Best may lose this, and he's actually waffling a little bit between the 2 locations. He's got the Arbiters out, But he might actually lose this Nexus and all the probes up here again. Well, meanwhile, sSak continues to push down into the bottom right-hand corner. He's killing off all the gateways, so there's not going to be any reinforcements coming from that bottom right. They're all going to have to come from this other base. He's going to lose the Nexus. Yeah, he might clear this. But sSak can now push in to that bottom right and actually kill that Nexus. So we're going to see almost no mining on either side, which is going to be quite wild. Yeah, push in. No, sSak is not moving forward. Uh-oh. sSak's not moving forward. If he pushed down towards the bottom right as that was happening, I think he could have killed the Nexus. But Best is still mining. sSak mining as well, but just on this one base. Best going to start to replenish those Nexi in the top left. Still has 54 probes to work with. Going up to high ground. He's noticed a gap in the defense. There's nothing on high ground here for sSak. So start to just throw down a bunch of storms. He can kill both or all three of these tanks with just pure storm. Loses a Templar in the process, but is starting to slowly break out. Arbiters are ready. Our Arbiter's going to come in clutch to kind of save Best in this game. Oh, mine connection there. Does manage to keep the tank alive for the time being. Really start to sort of slow down in this game now. As sSak still not expanding. Maybe time to take the middle of the map? I'm not sure. But sSak really struggling here. Can he actually snipe down that Templar? No, he's going to go for the Dragoons here on high ground. Start to pick them off. Goliath here really helping out. Slowing down any further base is best. Still getting a lot of mining, getting a lot of use out of this bottom right. Does lose the Templar. You only need a couple of tanks down here to actually break the base, sSak. There's only like one Zealot. One Zealot at that location. But he's not able to bring anything to bear down in that bottom right. He will bring his Goliaths back home, but Best is continuing to deny another base. A fifth base has not been taken for sSak. And so he's starting to falter here. He's stopped growing. There's almost every SCV at the center left. If there's some sort of storm drop at that location, you could even come in here and freeze all the SCVs. I think that would be a reasonable idea. Maybe. Can argue in the comments section about the efficacy of that. But when you've got 59 SCVs at one base, and you don't have mining anywhere else, maybe just throwing down a stasis on that, it could be helpful. Stop the mining of the Terran player for however many seconds. I can't even remember how long that stasis is. It's like an eternity, guys. Now Vulture's gonna make their way into top left. It's time for sSak to make a move. As the tanks spread out really nice. EMP. Oh, the EMP completely whiffs. Oh, there's the second EMP. Had 200 energy on that science vessel, so was able to get double EMP down there and prevent any spells from going out. No spell. I don't think we've seen a single spell from these Arbiters so far. sSak is going to shut down top left. Best looking to just counterattack, it looks like. He knows sSak's almost his entire army is in top left and defending center left, so maybe there's nothing back at home to actually deal with this counterattack. A lot of mines getting thrown down here, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Dropping right on top of all of these factories. sSak has to desperately turn around and run back home. And while he does so, I mean, we can start to throw down storms on this. We're kind of missing it, but... Oh, stasis. Stasis after stasis after stasis going down here. Arbiters are probably going to die. But the army is not going to be able to come down here. And in fact, sSak taps out. Wow, what a game. What a game on Kickback. Best with the counterattack, ends this one. It did slow down a lot there near the end. Quite a bit of action in the early and mid game, but things really did start to slow down as SOC wasn't able to take a 5th base, wasn't able to keep growing, and Best, like a mold, just coming back over and over and over again, making more bases all over the place. Ping-ponging back and forth between top left and bottom right. Manages to drag this into the very late stages and get some arbiters out to kind of help him in securing this win. Here we go. Best. Spawning in top left, SOC in top right. Just one more game. And Best will bring us to a 7th game on Monty Hall. That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that, if Best can make it happen. It's been kind of a wacky series so far. Best was looking almost outclassed by SOC in the first 3 games. I hate to say it because definitely I would say Best. Alright guys, sorry, I had the blue screen of death. I don't know how I'm going to mix this together in the YouTube video. But we're gonna see the beginning now. We'll see how this game played out. Nexus first from Best. The very first Nexus of this series. Nexus first of this series. Gonna go ahead and throw that down. I thought he was gonna do this a lot more when he saw that SOC was opening with gasless fast expand over and over and over again, but here we go. Finally gonna see it. Let's get that Nexus down. And SOC gonna scout in the wrong direction. It's not looking promising for him, considering that really would like to scout this as soon as possible to make a decision as to what he intends to do. Whether it's going to be a bust on the Nexus or it's going to be a very quick CC after the fact. Wants to know about this sooner rather than later, but he's picked up on the fact that the probe was headed down towards bottom right from the top left, so he's realized this is probably Protoss up in the top left-hand corner, and look at this. Best has gone for the greediest Nexus first you can, getting that gas right off the bat. He does throw down an extra gateway, realizing that it's not cross-map, and SOC has now scouted him, so Marines are starting to come across the map. We're gonna have a bunker bust here as civvies are being pulled from this main mineral line. He's gonna start to set up this bunker. Already probes are off the line, so it looks like Best wants to fight for this. There is the possibility, there's the option to just pull the probes out of the natural and just break this a little bit later. Can he actually get the SCV? So close to getting that SCV. Second gateway is done now. Gonna be making 2 Dragoons at the same time. Get some damage on these SCVs. Oh, wow. Oh, the great surround there. What a surround from SOC. With those SCVs blocking that Zealot. Trapping it in a little cage of workers there and not allowing it to kill any of these Marines. That's going to be a lot of DPS coming out of this bunker. Start to kill the Nexus. A lot of SCVs were pulled here. Wow, this gets up into the main. He's going to get a couple of kills here. I think 1 kill. Okay. Throwing away that Vulture for just 1 kill. Not the greatest here for SOC. But he will get the Nexus. However, Best did pull the probes out of the natural. He keeps most of the probes alive. And he's got Dragoons on the way. Dragoon range is coming. And these SCVs are just sitting, just waiting. That's a lot of workers off the line. You can see that SOC is 2 workers ahead, but he's actually 3 workers behind because 5 workers are sitting at this natural and not doing anything. And pretty soon we're going to have these Dragoons hitting the bunker. they're going to be actually actively losing money by repairing here. He's going to try and dive on this, thinking that maybe he could have broken the bunker if there weren't any SCVs present before the range upgrade comes online, but there it is. The SCVs come up to repair, and now he's just going to be waiting for a few more Dragoons and that range upgrade to finish. This is quite a lot of Dragoons. Are there enough SCVs to actually repair 5? He hit... Looks like he's going to have 6 Dragoons hitting. So with 6 Dragoons all attacking at the same time, you are going to be able to break this bunker slowly but surely. Trying to buy just enough time, though, SOC is, to get some mines out here at the front. Oh, he messes up with the repair. The repair is not quite right there. And so the mines will get cleaned. In fact, Best is going to be able to clear out all of the mines at the natural without getting an observer. And he's going to be able to take this Nexus and double expand behind that. Everything heads back home. He at least saves the tank. Tank from SOC is still alive here, and all the SCVs are going to survive for now. As they run back home to this CC, which has been set down at the natural. So CC already done back at home. SOC in a pretty good spot. 2 worker advantage, and Best can't really counterattack. There's not really a whole lot he can do. There's mines, and there's going to be tanks up on that high ground as well. The Nexus is kind of off-center. Wow, that Nexus is off-center, actually. Yeah, pointing that out. Spanish caster showing that Best is really thrown off right now. He placed the Nexus, even though there's a bit of, you know, rubble there on the ground to kind of indicate where the Nexus should go. He places it slightly to the south. That's going to throw off his gas mining, and it's going to throw off the mineral patches at the top side as well. Didn't realize Best was this tilted, but yeah, he throws down the Nexus off center, and now he's in a lot of trouble. 7 worker lead. 7 worker lead is kind of crazy. And it seems like that lead is just going to get extended here even further as the observer comes in. Gonna go ahead and scout that high ground. He sees the tanks killing off that egg. But what is the follow-up going to be from SOC? That's what the observer's here to find out. Starport there on the low ground. Transition from SOC has been revealed. Gonna be going for a drop, potentially right into +2 as well here on 2 bases, but cancel. Cancel here on that Starport, so maybe just a full-on 2-base timing attack. Now, Best is one of the greatest players at defeating these 2-base timing attacks, but he's been really hamstrung and hampered by this early game. Gonna have a hard time holding off this attack. Seems like it's gonna be a straight-up +1 timing from SOC as he gets all these factories online. Best is gonna have to control really, really well against this and get some quick shuttles out to deal with it. At the same time, some vultures going to be swinging by over towards this natural. There's some open area here to try and deal some damage. He's slipping by on this top side. There's a hole in the pylon wall. 2, 3 probes go down. He's just going to slip by. Oh my gosh, running down with the probes turns out to be a horrible mistake. So many probes are falling. One after another, after another, after another. Probes going down. SOC dealing absolutely massive damage, and he's going to run by in the natural as well. No pylon wall here at the natural. Best is absolutely falling apart. So many have gone down so far. Only 29 workers remain, and a 2-base push is on the way. I've seen Best break some of the strongest 2-base pushes you've ever seen with hardly any units at all, but I don't know if it's even possible. The numbers just don't add up here for Best. SOC going to be able to put together a giant army with this +1 timing, going straight across the map. He doesn't even really need to do that. He could go for a third base here and just double down on this lead that he's got. At this point, sliding by again, gonna get another vulture into the main. Oh god. How many more kills? 1, 2, and a third one as well. Dude, Best is tilted out of his mind. He's actually walking the Dragoons right past the army. The army, he sees it at the periphery here for these Dragoons, but SOOP is just going to teleport into his third base now, according to Best's perception. You can see he's sitting here in front, containing the Terran player, but here's all the tanks suddenly arriving over at this third base. A lot of probes are going to start to go down, and the Nexus can be targeted. Pylon Wall working against him right now. Unfortunately for SOOP, he actually targets that down a little bit. Just going for the Nexus here is going to be fantastic. Kill off the Nexus, and then there's almost no way for Best to come back. There it is. It goes down. Zealots finishing up their Zealot speed, jumping on top of these tanks immediately. But the Dragoons are, for the most part, being targeted. Very good target fire from SOOP to just target down those Dragoons and not have too much splash damage go down from these Zealots. Run by into the natural at the same time. Going to start to kill off probes. A beautiful counterattack from SOOP as all that chaos is going on at the third base. Immediately running up here into the main and forcing out the GG. Very well played there. SOOP takes this game away, and he steals the series as well. The underdog here. I started off this cast by claiming he was going to be going down in a 4-0, but there you have it, guys. 4-2. As we run back this cast. The blue screen of death can't even stop us, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Those of you who were watching in the SOOP chat. Very much appreciate it. Shout out to the Spanish casters as well. Oh, you know, I don't have a background right now, so that's a little bit unfortunate. All right, let me go ahead and start the background. The blue screen really did mess us up here. It is what it is. Oh my gosh. All right. We'll pull it up. And I can change this graphic as well. Put another win on the board for SOOP. Really surprising me, and I think surprising a lot of us out here. I wasn't the only one thinking that this was going to be a 4-0 in favor of Best, but I think we're all going to be a little bit surprised with that result. That's probably the biggest gaffe we've had in the SOOP Duel series so far. Biggest technical glitch. We ended up having to recast that, but it is what it is. Things sometimes happen that are out of our control, but we do the best with what we've got. Hope you guys enjoyed this series overall. It was a lot of fun. Very surprising. I thought that we were just going to have a blowout and I was going to go home early and disappointed, but we got to see SOOP in a bit of a different light here today. Is a vulture play absolutely out of control in that series. Handled Best pretty darn well. The run-bys, the drops. I think that's maybe what SOOP is most well known for, or at least the thing that pops into my head when I think about him is his drop play. He's very, very good at getting in there. And like the multi-pronged drops that are going on while He's doing a push. Pretty impressive stuff. Like we saw in Kickback, him dropping bottom right while attacking top left, and he did similar things in some of the earlier matchups, some of the earlier matches. Felt like that was the start of 50% of TVPs during that meta. Nexus first, bust, and then double expansion. I think you might be right. GG, I think Best still could have won from here if he didn't give up all those probes later. I think so too. We've seen so many cases of Nexus first get busted and then the Protoss still able to come back and win. I think for sure there was a hope and a prayer there for Best, but when he ran the probes south and didn't have the pylon in the wall to block the vultures, oh my gosh, things got really bad as soon as that happened. I think that was kind of the breaking point. Definitely Best a little bit cooked there, man. He was well done in that series. Can really tell when he places the Nexus off center. That's kind of a meme in Tastosis casting, right? Oh, is that Nexus? Is that Nexus in the right spot? But truly placed it off center there. Even pro gamers can make big mistakes like that when the pressure is on. By the way, I have to shout out Vova999, gifted 100 gems right as I had blue screen. Thank you for the 100 gems, man. You've been entered 2 times to win that ASL jacket, and that giveaway is going to continue until the 25th of May. The end of that series is when, the end of the ASL Finals cast is when that giveaway will be finished. So I'm going to go ahead and put these gems up towards our gems goal. Again, doing very well for ourselves. Very well indeed. Thank you so much for everybody who supported, from everyone who supported. There it is, 2350. We're nearly at that 3,000 gems goal, guys. We're going to be back tomorrow again for the SDS, but if you're going to be awake, if it's a decent time for you, 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to be doing KCM as well here on the SCTV EN channel. So look forward to that. See if you can make it out to the live cast. If not, no worries. It'll be up on YouTube immediately after. And so you guys can catch all the action on YouTube or here in the live cast. Either one is absolutely fine. I'll be doing SDS, yeah, like I said, tomorrow, and then on Sunday, another SDS. Actually, that'll be Saturday, your guys' time, and then immediately into the ASL Finals. Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific. 2 p.m. Korean Standard Time will be the ASL Finals. Definitely join in on that, guys. That live cast is going to be insanely hyped. This guy on screen right now, Best, is at the absolute pinnacle of his game here in May of 2025. Is it going to be enough to take down his opponent in that final Soul Key? We're going to find out. We're going to watch it together. It'll be an insanely hyped match, so don't miss it. Don't miss out on that live cast, guys. It's been... The time has been specifically changed to make it a little bit more accessible. 2 p.m. Korean Standard Time, guys. 2 p.m. Korean Standard Time. Figure out what time it is for you guys and join in on that finals. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.